So these are the patch notes. These don't include all of the adjustments to the PvP rebalance, okay? Because it's 28 pages long and we'll be here all day. But for the PTS, this is live this weekend. It'll probably explain when it ends in this. But we've got, let's go through the patch notes. Someone asked us to go through it. We will do. And we'll also cover videos like explaining this with visuals. We've been playing it a bit. We kind of get it now. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. So Dark Zones and PvP update. Year 8 Season 2 brings a new structure to the Dark Zone with the 3 existing maps rotating between different rule sets. Each rule set is built around a different type of experience, a seasonal PvE loop, a more even PvP environment, or the traditional Dark Zone risk versus reward gameplay. So PvE Dark Zone. The PvE Dark Zone is a Year 8 Season 2 specific feature. So that's important. This is just for Year 8 Season 2. This isn't a permanent feature. I know a lot of people are already saying they want a permanent PvE Dark Zone. Keep that feedback coming. If they see people really want this, maybe they can do something. But just for Season 2 right now. Directly connected to the Cleaning Up the Streets global modifier. The version of the Dark Zone is designed for those who want to experience the space without the same PvP pressure. Rogue Protocol is completely deactivated and damage between players is disabled. Agents are deployed into a higher contaminated environment, not to fight each other, but to work together as a unified front. Normalization is active, while Shade Watch and Expertise progression remain fully functional to help you deal with the threats inside. So that would be like prototype gear, right? It is still a shared area for up to 12 agents that is meant to feel tense and unpredictable. This time, that tension comes from the environment and enemies, including hyenas under the effects of potent spice, which makes them even stronger and more lethal. So what to expect? Toxicity covers the entire zone, applying hazardous effects. You'll be able to team up with others while you are there. The official party system is supported, and you can invite other agents to group up with. This Dark Zone becomes one of the main places to recover sample canisters, a new seasonal resource tied to the hyenas activity. They can be found from landmark chests, material chests, hyenas, and at a reduced drop rate of enemy factions. So I believe these canisters, we're going to do a separate video which is going to go over all of this. You'll see how it all works. But I believe you can get them outside of the Dark Zone as well. It's just going to be at a lower rate. Because it says the Dark Zone becomes one of the main places, right? You don't have to do this. You can farm other ways. So toxicity is a new pressure mechanic that starts building once you enter the area. Certain hostile modifiers can also increase it in different ways. So the longer you stay and the more encounters you take on, the more dangerous the area becomes. As toxicity rises, you'll be affected by cumulative debuffs to reduce it, and debuffs, and then to reduce it, you can activate a surge active modifier. To clear it fully, you can enter the safe house or a checkpoint or leave the Dark Zone completely. So normalized PvP Dark Zone. Normalized PvP Dark Zone is a new rule set built for those who want to be more competitive in PvP with fewer progression-based advantages. Normalization is active while Shade Watch power and expertise are disabled. Everyone enters on a more even playing field where your tactical decisions and aim carry more weight. What to expect? High-stakes economy. To make this zone more rewarding for competitive agents, breaking down drop the contaminated item grants a 200% DZ coin bonus. That's pretty decent. I like that. And in the standard Dark Zone, this zone functions as a traditional Dark Zone that agents already know. It's the middle ground for those who want the traditional risk versus reward loop. Normalization remains active here, but Shade Watch and Expertise progression still count towards your power. What to expect? Standard rogue mechanics and periodic invasions are active. Dark Zone vendor updates. So the Dark Zone vendors have also been updated with new prices and additional utility caches. Each vendor now offers different cache types. DZ East will give you recalibration caches at 90 DZ credits and optimization caches 130 in addition to what it normally does. DZ West, you get exotic component caches 160 DZ currency reconstructed at 320. DZ South prototype core caches at 170 and prototype caches at 400 for ascending gear to the new prototype tier. General Dark Zone updates. Entrance turrets have been adjusted to better prevent door camping by dealing additional direct health damage to hostile agents within range. Agents now receive a brief invulnerability window when entering the Dark Zone, giving them time to load in and assess their surroundings. This protection ends early if the agent moves or fires their weapon. Then there's this is a big one. This is where there's 28 pages, which I'm going to link this in the video. You can go and click this article, come and click this yourself and read all through the 28 page of adjustments. There's loads. I'll quickly show you in a moment, but I'm not going through it. Year 8, Season 2 also brings a broad PvP balancing pass, starting with a major returning of weapon and gear talents. Retuning, sorry. The first phase focuses on addressing talents that have had too much impact on PvP balance, reducing some of the biggest power spikes and giving more builds a chance to compete across Conflict and Dark Zone. This is part of a wider multi-phase effort to improve PvP balance, with future phases planned to look at skills and attributes in PvP. Due to the number of changes included, we've listed the full adjustments in a dedicated table. 28 pages. We're going to be scrolling for a few seconds here. I believe pretty much everything has been touched, and this is only PvP, not PvE. So, yeah, read through if you want. It then goes on to the modifiers for next season. The global modifier. Year 8 Season 2 introduces a new global modifier, cleaning up the streets, centering around the Hyena's latest experiments with potent spice. As part of the season, Hyena forces are using the PvE Dark Zone as staging areas to store the chemical compounds needed to produce the potent spice. These same compounds are also needed by civilians and agents for humanitarian efforts, creating the core seasonal loop around recovering and using sample canisters. Basically, you're going in the PvE Dark Zone, you're killing ads, you're getting canisters, you go into the base of operations, you're giving yourself a buff. That's a permanent seasonal buff. Once you've got it all, then you'll be going in and that's it. Basically, once you get the buff, you'll be leveling up your modifiers, things like that. I'm going to do a separate video all around this to show you the gameplay loop. It's actually quite fun. A little bit of learning needed. It's not easy. It is aimed at kind of like risk and reward in the Dark Zone. There's hunters at extractions. It'll probably go on about this now, but it's pretty fun. We're going to do a separate video for that. So sample canisters. Sample canisters are a new seasonal resource tied to the Hyena faction in the global modifier gameplay loop. They are used in two main ways. Contribute sample canisters at the seasonal vendor to increase the sample size bar and unlock stronger high-quality munition bonuses. Active modifiers can automatically consume sample canisters on activation to trigger a more powerful surge version of their effects. They can be found from several sources. PvE Dark Zone landmark chests, guaranteed large amount. PvE Dark Zone material chests, guaranteed medium amount. Hyena enemies in the PvE Dark Zone, medium chance to drop. Hyena enemies outside the PvE Dark Zone during missions, small chance to drop. Other enemy factions, greatly reduced chance to drop. So you can literally just play missions in the light zone and you can get them. Hyena missions, you can farm them. Sample canisters are sent directly to your inventory and do not need to be extracted. Agents can carry a limited number of sample canisters at once. This capacity can be increased by equipping a specific passive modifier. Someone in the live chat earlier said you had to extract these from the DZ, but this is saying they are automatically added. So, seasonal vendor. The seasonal vendor is located in the base of operations next to the specialization table. At the vendor, agents can add sample canisters to the sample size bar. Increasing sample size unlocks additional high-quality munitions bonuses throughout the season. So, starting bonus, 50% optimal range, and then level 1 will add 50% weapon handling, level 2 magazine size, level 3 damage to armor, level 4 rate of fire. These bonuses are cumulative, meaning each new level adds to the bonuses already unlocked. Once a level is reached, the bonus becomes part of the high quality munitions buff. High quality munitions is the temporary buff granted after adding sample canisters at the seasonal vendor. So the bonuses included in this buff depend on the current sample size progress. The duration of the buff depends on the number of high quality munition stacks you receive. Each sample canister added grants 5 high quality munition stacks, while at least 1 stack remains. All unlocked high quality munitions bonuses are active. Stacks are consumed only by manual or automatic reloads from an empty magazine. Other effects that refresh ammo or reload weapons do not consume stacks. Once all stacks are depleted, the high quality munition buffs ends. Active modifiers. Active modifiers can be empowered through search. So you got all these. I'm not going to go through all these now because I'm going to be doing a video on the modifiers and the whole seasonal loop and things like that. We're going to be going through all these then. So again, you can read through these if you want to. But basically, your modifiers are going to help with the toxicity in the dark zone. You can like reduce it and things like that. And you can set yourself up to survive longer. There's loads. Then you've got new gear, new exotic gear. Again, we're going to do a video for all this. You can read through this if you want to. I'll just link it. And that's it. PTS only. During the test, all modifiers will be unlocked from the start. You got the Adam Shipley's inventory on the PTS. You can get your caches and everything that you need. Dark Zone rule sets during the PTS. Dark Zone East is going to be PvE, Normalized West, Standard South. These will be on rotation every week, they said in the stream. So sort of reset as a few named issues. A very early build of the PTS. If you are playing the PTS this weekend, it's a very, very early build. There's a lot of work still needed and things like that. They did warn us about that, so there will be issues and stuff. But they are the patch notes. A lot of you are asking in chat for them. I'm going to record this in the video and put the link in the video description if you want to read them yourself, especially if you want to go through all of those changes.